Hello, welcome back to another video. We've got a interesting setup this time. As you can see, I'm actually standing up and the camera is pointed towards the ground. So today is another haul video, and as I talked about before, these prints are going to be the Ichiba prints that I got from LDC. Most of them are Ichiba except for one, but they are huge. So all of them are 70 by 100 centimeters. I cannot showcase them properly on a desk of any type where I'm at. So I decided to use the floor. Don't worry, the floor is pretty relatively clean, but it's a really weird setup because my camera stand, is on an ironing board, and it's pointed towards the ground where the prints are. And as you can see, I don't have a stick, so I'm just going to use a ruler to point to things while I'm standing up. So it really does feel like I'm teaching a class or something, which is very odd. But this is, for me, a very long awaited haul because as you will know, I am a huge fan of Ichiba. I am a huge fan of LDC and their prints, their posters, their books, and I've never been able to buy the larger prints, the 70 by 100 centimeters. The reason why is because I didn't have any space for it, any storage, and so the only prints I was buying from them were the 50 by 70 centimeter prints, which is the smaller size, the smallest size that they go for. But now I'm finally invested in an art portfolio that can house those bigger prints. So I actually have two art portfolio folders now. And so yeah, these just came today, so I'm very excited to show them off. But these are some of my favorite art pieces of all time. So yeah, finally having them in person is amazing. So these artworks, I don't actually know when they were printed because LDC doesn't have any dates on their website, unfortunately. But this specific one here, I'm gonna there's 6 prints in total, but I'm just gonna leave it here and kind of just move around. So the visuals will be very static because of the setup, so I won't be able to move anything around. I'm kind of just going to be pointing my measuring tape around, really. So it's kind of going to just be an audio thing, but of course you'll be having the prints on screen as well. But this print to start off with is called Tete, which is the French word for head, I believe. And this is absolutely one of my favorite art pieces from Ichiba in general. This does pop up in a black and white art book of his, but having this in color is amazing. And it's also, I think, one of the most, like, I would describe it as the work from Ichiba that embodies like the beauty in the disgusting the most that comes out of his work. Like if you see here, the main object, the main kind of visual drawing point that we see is the head, which is obviously deformed, injured. There's a lot of parts coming around it, but if you look at the outside of it, it's an interesting array of like animals and plants and everything like that. You also got a wolf there as well, but it's such a simple piece to me, like composition wise, but just seeing this in person is another experience. So if I had to choose, honestly, this may be my favorite Ichiba piece of all time, although that does change a lot. This is really up there, and I've been wanting this for 3 years now, so finally have it. And the only thing I can really do with the camera is kind of just zoom in a little bit. It may be blurry. This is the maximum I can zoom, and then I'll zoom out a little bit here. So yeah, just zooming in and out really is the only motion you'll see in this video. But that is the first print. Let me get the second one. Okay, so this is the second print. This one is called Bakemono Musume, which translates to Monster Girl. Another simple looking print, and this time it's got Ichiba's name written up there. It's not signed, but it's just his name written. But this is, you normally see a lot of this motif of like this kind of growth, like a fungal growth in his characters, kind of like a curse, that sort of thing. But another simple work, but I really love how pink this is. Like in person, it really is pink, and I think, yeah, looking at the camera, I think it does capture it pretty well too. But I do tend to like, you know, with Ichiba there is a lot of chaos in his works, but stuff like this where you have a lot more simpler compositions, but they are huge, like physically huge. The 70 by 100 centimeters is an amazing art piece to have. So I'll zoom in. Yeah, amazing stuff. Oh, there we go. I'll get the next one now. It's going to be a short video, to be honest, because it's only just a couple of prints, but really wanted to show it off either way. Okay, so the third print we have here, this one is actually a new one out in 2026. This one is called Yokai Scalp. And if you zoom in here, so the color and the way that the ink is, I guess, drawn or added onto the artwork, you can tell it's very different actually to the older prints that he has. Like, for example, the other two ones, like in this specific print, the color looks more like, you know, that watercolor type of feel. You can see a little bit of like smudging throughout the whole thing. I think is very interesting. Love the subject matter, of course. There's a lot of artworks that he has that feature this sort of like execution type subject matter. I do want to say as well, this one also isn't fully flattened out yet, so I've got to use this to flatten that out too. But Daisuke Ichiba has also put up some works, original artwork that you can buy from his website, depending on when this video is released, because it only goes from, I think, March 30th to April 30th, so it might be too late by this video, but either way I'll link it. I personally don't plan to buy any original art because quite expensive. I don't know what the prices are because they are according to gallery prices and you have to email Ichiba himself, but yeah, just as a heads up. But this is the newest print from LDC and Daisuke Ichiba, Yokai Scalp. Amazing one. It's really nice to see that you can still like observe a change in Ichiba's artwork, and I think LDC did such an amazing job with the color when they were still printing this. It is quite a different type of job compared to his other prints in the past. So yeah, that was Yokai Scalp. Okay, so an intermission from the Ichiba. This is the only non-Ichiba print that I got. This is Doll by Ota Keiti. They have quite a number of prints with LDC, but a lot of them actually sold out. I'm not too familiar with who they are, what they do, but this has been on my radar for quite a while. I really love the color combo of pink and green, and it's a really interesting subject matter that we see in these dolls, I guess, being blown up and then deflating as well. Really creepy looking dolls on his prints, but yeah, it's a really sick piece. One of my favorite color combinations in general is red and green, and also blue and pink. This kind of does reach that same level of like excitement that I get when I see red and green, because it is pink and green. So yeah, a really weird one. Also a different art style, of course. You have more solid lines, a little less you know, ink throughout the whole thing. You're not seeing as much line work, but it resembles more of a comic. I do know Ota Keiti has done some other art books, sorry, but again, not too familiar with him, but I've seen him around quite a bunch, and this is my favorite out of all the art pieces I've seen from him. So yeah, a great one. Also, do want to say as well, I didn't mention that I wanted to make a video with my Ichiba prints, like all my Ichiba prints, but now that I think about it, it's going to be such a pain to take everything out. So yeah, I might not make that video, not gonna lie. I think that'll be very tough to do. I need a lot of time. So if you do want to see all of my other Ichiba prints, it's not all that I have, but if you check out my other Daisuke Ichiba collection videos, I do show off a number of them, maybe in the first one, second one, depending. But yeah, I think just overall, showcasing every print I have is a very labor intensive task. So might not do that, but either way, you'll still see prints. Anytime I get a haul of print, I will definitely show that off. And so we move on to the last one. So overall there were 5 prints, not 6, but last print will be Ichiba. Okay, so last but not least, we have our final piece. This is an Ichiba print by the name of Narok Sake. So Narok, or Narok, I don't know how to pronounce it, is the Thai word for hell or Buddhist hell. This came alongside a number of pieces done by a lot of different artists that was put into the DC Narok catalog, because they had an exhibition where all these artists came together. I think it was LDC alongside other publishers as well. All of them centered on the theme of Narok, so Buddhist hell. And so this one here, we see the subject matter this time being the cinder block torture method thing, but it's a very, I love the name, Narok Sake, like hell sake. The ink, when it comes to like the gore here, like for example, you know, you look at the second guy here, you see a lot of the dark ink coming in the back as well, and you have the little cat to kind of balance things out. So a lot of balance. I think balance is a great word actually when it comes to Daisuke Ichiba, when it comes to his composition, his subject matter. Yeah, another thing about it, balance is a great word. And also he has that monograph where, I forgot what the English title of it was, but I think it also mentioned like equilibrium or maybe disequilibrium, something like that. But yeah, this one I've also wanted for quite a long time, so I'm very happy that I have this as well. But that will be the last print of today's video. So today's video is very short and not as, you know, visual, like there's not much movement in the videos, and I do apologize if the camera moved too much, because it is on the ironing board and it's very janky sometimes if I bump into it even just a little bit. But yeah, if you don't know about LDC, please check them out. I will link them in the description below. They do such an amazing variety of prints. If you are interested in how they ship, all of these prints came rolled up in a very tall rectangular cardboard box. It's a very sturdy one, so there wasn't any damage to any of them. From France to Australia, in terms of shipping, it took around 2 and a bit weeks to ship. So pretty fast, to be honest. I'm not too sure how they do in terms of shipping to other parts of the world, but I've been consistently ordering from LDC for the past couple years and I've never had an issue with them, and they are 100% my favorite publisher in terms of art prints and art books. But hope you guys have enjoyed this one. This is a very special haul for me because it's been a long time coming. Hopefully I'll be able to get more prints. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.